Hey guys, welcome to a new video on my channel. Today I wanted to cover one of the greatest, if not the greatest game ever played. Some of you will probably already know this game. It's very famous. It's a game between Topalov and Garry Kasparov. Two of the best players around the 90s, of course. This was played in 1999. I was 2 years old at the time. It was actually played in the Netherlands and Wijk aan Zee, I believe. So Wijk aan Zee is a Dutch place, and it features insane calculations, almost otherworldly. It's so incredibly good that it is just, it destroys all of my hope to ever become a grandmaster, let alone one of the best players in the world. Or actually reversed, but whatever. So yeah, okay, let's go ahead and try to analyze this game. It starts off relatively normal. It starts with the perk defense. Garry Kasparov is here playing with the white pieces, of course, and Topalov is playing with the black pieces. And it's all pretty normal beginning. Yeah, so here we get some moves. I mean, this is not the interesting part of the game. It starts off relatively simple. Kasparov plays bishop h6. Obviously, the idea here often is to trade bishops here and disallow castling and maybe get your queen in somehow. So already a pretty decent position for Kasparov, of course. Bishop b7, a3, e5, and long castles. Queen e7, king b1, a6, knight c1, long castles, and knight b3. So one of the things that Kasparov really wants here in this position is to place a knight on a5. A few moves ago, a6 was played to prevent d5, and if you, for example, castle here, there might be d5, this pawn becomes very weak, it becomes a little bit tricky. So that is why a6 was played, to defend the b5 pawn with the a6 pawn, and Kasparov immediately tries to get a knight on a5, which is something that he does by rerouting the knight, of course. You see takes, rook takes, c5, and rook d1. Now there is knight b6, and here another very crucial move, g3. I believe he took a few minutes at this point to think about this move. However, this move is very multifunctional in this line. One of the ideas is, of course, to play bishop h3, give a check, and place your bishop on a very strong diagonal here. And other ideas include ideas to go queen f4 maybe in some lines and try to attack with your queen as well. So g3 was played, and now we see king b8, of course, tucking the king away in the corner. And now finally knight a5. He wanted to place his knight here for a longer while, trying to get very tricky here with the knight, of course, which is very strong. And we see bishop a8. And defending the light squared bishop, of course. Now we see bishop h3, and now we see d5, and queen f4 check, king a7, and now rook h to e1, and now there was d4, and yeah, actually the engine prefers the position for black here a little bit, even though it's very minor. It is preferred by black, and we see knight d5, and after knight d5 there is takes. And now there is queen d6, the only move. Obviously queen d6 prevents the queen from being taken by the rook, and it also allows a queen trade, of course. And here, so up until this point, this game has been pretty normal. I mean, high end, but pretty normal. This is obviously a game played between two very strong players. That is already very clear at this point. There is a lot of shuffling here and there, some movement of the knight here, some rerouting. There's a nice strong pawns here for black. But one of the things that is very clear here, that this game has a lot of tricks. There's a lot of tricks. This king is very badly placed in this section, because there's obviously some sort of way to attack here. The bishop is very strong. The queen might have ideas to come in. The rook might have ideas to come in. There are tricks, and from this point forward it becomes very crazy. Here, Garry Kasparov played rook x d4. One of the craziest moves. I mean, yeah, this move alone is already very interesting and very difficult to find, in my opinion. Of course, if you are a very strong player, it might be a little bit different. But obviously, so let's see what happens if you capture the rook here. What happens? Now there is it's insane actually, because this is all engine line, right? So rook x d4 is the best move. That is the best move. And after taking here, we do not take back immediately. We play rook e7 first. A brilliant move. This is, I mean, honestly, we've talked about it. I mean, I think a lot of YouTubers and other content creators talked about it before, but some moves deserve a rating better than brilliant. They deserve something better than brilliant, because this move is just, this is I mean, this is insane. Honestly, this is insane. I mean, you can't even describe this as brilliant. I mean, it's beyond brilliant in my opinion. There's no way in there that yeah, it's insane actually. So this gives up a full rook, but it can't be taken, because if it's taken, there's a mate in 4. There's this, and now you have to block somehow. And if you block like this, there's a mate in 1 because of this move, and I think this is just mate in 1. Yep. And if you block the other way with the bishop, there's this move. You can't take because you're obviously pinned. You can't go here because there's a bishop, so you have to go here, and now it's once again a mate. So yeah, so all the way in this position, Kasparov calculated that after taking here and taking here, this is a move. I mean, how do you even come up with it at the first place? And the reason this works is because if takes, there's a mate in 4. So okay, we see that it can't be taken. Okay, let's continue this line, because the game was far from over here, far from over. But this is already let alone this sequence, finding that you can sacrifice the rook, then take here and mate somehow. It's already insane if you ask me. However, there was king b6 played almost immediately by the opponent here, by Vasilin Topalov, and now this game goes off the rails. So here, the funny part is this is already +4. This is +4 for white, and it's actually crazy to me that some people are so good in chess that they can find stuff like this. Rook x d4 is insane already, and then rook e7 is even crazier, and then queen x d4, just giving up another knight is just, I mean, incredible play. But okay, so I think there's a relative. Is there a relatively easy draw here? I don't think there is. No, king b6 is the best move. I think somewhere Garry Kasparov said there was an easy draw here. I think instead of taking here, if you go king b6 immediately, for example, apparently this is the best move. Now it's a relatively easy draw. Yeah, b4, and then the game kind of continues. So I think it was clear that there was a draw to be taken by both players because they are so strong. But taking here allowed the amazing continuation of this game. And here the knight was taken, and now once again we see how incredibly difficult it is to see this. But from this point forward, the game continued and became, yeah, insane actually. And keep in mind that Kasparov calculated this entire line. He calculated everything here. He calculated a b4 and then queen c3. And the idea of queen c3 is, of course, if you take this, there's a mate, and you're immediately mated. So yeah, queen c3, and let's see, you need to stop that somehow, so you need to protect this square. So there are 2 moves. I think you can take with the bishop, I think you can take with the queen. I'm not sure. Taking with the bishop allows to a mate as well, apparently, because of king b2 immediately. This is just a straight up mate. There's nothing you can do about it anymore right now. Yeah, now you need to go queen e6, it says, and then after taking here, and rook a to d8, rook a8, sorry. This, yeah, now you can just go here, and then this is mate. Yeah, so taking with the bishop was not possible. So what did he do? He played queen x d5, and now after queen x d5, once again we're almost trapping the king here in the corner, of course. But if you go here right now, of course it doesn't work. You can just take, and now you're completely losing. So let's not do that. So here there was rook a7 played. And rook a7 once again threatens to take the pawn here on a6 and deliver a mate. If you do anything else here, this is just a simple checkmate. So you have to protect this. And if you go rook d6, for example, it doesn't actually work because of king b2. Once again, a very, very nice move. And here there are all sorts of things he can do. Apparently there is queen e5 here. And that just gives away a complete queen. So, you know. This is the most successful way to stop mate here. Then you need to go like rook c8, and now maybe you go here back here. Yeah, and it's just gonna be checkmate. So yeah, I mean, insane to be honest. But yeah, rook d6 couldn't be played because of king b2. And once again, keep in mind that these players calculated everything here. They calculated everything, the entire line. They calculated this entire line through. It's absolutely flabbergasting to me that you can be so good at something that you can calculate this all the way through. But it is what happened. So instead of playing rook d6, which is a losing move, the opponent here, of course, Veselin Topalov, played bishop b7. The only move that worked, the only move. Apparently here it's still +1 for white. It's not completely over, but it is still completely, or it's still winning for white. And now you should just take the bishop. So the bishop was taken here. Another brilliant move. Obviously you can't take because there's going to be checkmate again. So what did he play here? Here there was a queen c4 played, which is one of the best moves. And now we see queen x f6, of course taking a free knight. And yeah, it's just, yeah. Once again, you need to calculate everything here. So these players calculated this entire line. They calculated everything here. They calculated this entire sequence. They saw this entire position in their heads. And they saw that he can take here and take here. And then after taking here, actually Veselin Topalov said after the game that he calculated all the way until this point. And here he thought he was doing fine. But he missed one move and one move only. Which is c3 check. It's just I mean, how can you even be that good at something? It's insane, honestly. It's insane, because this is just, I mean, c3 check is the only thing missed by Topalov, which immediately which keeps the advantage for white, and it's just so incredible. It's so incredible. If you take with the queen here, there's going to be a mate because of this, and here, and here. And this is just checkmate. You can interpose, but this is checkmate. So you can't take with the queen, so you have to take with the king. And after taking with the king, there is this amazing queen a1 check, which is the only move that works. It is queen a1 check is the only move that keeps the advantage for white. And once again, this is not a coincidence. These players, this is not it's not like they are playing and they're all of a sudden, oh, this is a good move and this is a good move. Like the way I play by, oh, okay, this is a good move. Oh, I got out of here somehow. That's the way how I play. I just play some moves and I hope that it wins, and then I all of a sudden lose the entire game. But it doesn't matter, or I win sometimes, but usually I lose. Now these players calculated this entire sequence. They calculated this entire line, and Kasparov calculated it further than Topalov did, which is exactly why he won the game, because queen a1 is an amazing move. Because after this you have to go to d2 with the king, and now you can go queen b2. And look at how you cannot go here, for example, because if you do, there's rook e7 check, and now if you take this, for example, there's queen g2 mate. There's a million different mates here, which is just insane, to be honest. And now you can go queen e6 apparently, then you lose your queen, which is the best move. Apparently you don't even take here. Maybe you take with the bishop. You just play queen c3 here. Okay, I mean, you know, once again, amazing. I mean, this, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful stuff. I mean, and then once again they got into this position. One more move, there's only one move that works here, and of course Garry Kasparov finds it, which is bishop f1. And this is, yeah, once again, I mean, mind you, like, we were at one point we were in this position, And this man calculated everything. He calculated everything. I mean, just everything. I mean, he saw it all. He saw it all up until c3, up until queen b2, up until bishop f1. It's absolutely. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me that some players are this good. It's just, it's almost feels like. I mean, yeah, it's insane. And yeah, the beautiful part of it is that there are still computers that are better than the best humans. It's just chess is such a beautiful game because the point is it looks so simple. It's like every other game in the world. Of course, at the highest levels, everything looks simple. I mean, playing football at the highest levels is of course looking very simple. Playing darts at the highest level looks very simple. So many sports look easy, but this is to find all of this and to make it work. It's just it's beautiful. So bishop f1, it works because if you take here, there's gonna be a checkmate like this. And now you have to give up your queen, and this is just going to be checkmate. So you can't take the bishop, and what else do you do? Where do you go? Where do you go with your queen? If you go anywhere with this queen, if you go here, it's going to be mate, because this is just not a mate, actually. Where's the mate here? This is the mate then. Yeah, this is the mate, of course. So yeah, there's no move that you can do with the queen, which is the problem. There's only two moves here that don't lose immediately. One of them is rook d2, which was played in the game, and the other is king e1. And rook d2 is the move that was played in the game, and obviously here there's another bazillion things you can do, but there's only one move that keeps the advantage, and once again Kasparov finds it. I don't know if he calculated this, but maybe he did. Apparently, I think he should, but yeah, you know, maybe maybe he saw this move on the spot, but you know, it is rook d7. And the reason this works is because if you take here now, you can simply take, and if you don't take, if you take here, for example, again, there's mate in 1, so yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. And if you go anywhere else, for example, if you go here, it's going to be mate in 1 as well. If you try to defend this somehow, which is, I don't even think that's possible, is it? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. The second best move is king e1, but once again that loses completely because you can take here, and this, you know. This is not the best move, actually. The best move is rook x2. Yeah. So yeah, once again, there's only one move that works here, and it's rook x d7. And now you take the queen, and after taking back, once again, there's nothing you can do here. You need to take this back. If you don't take this back, if you play, for example, I mean, what can you? Let's say you play rook d8. I don't know. There's a mate in 1, of course, so another mate. And if you play this, for example, trying to stop here, you can go queen c1, which is also a mate, because this is covered by the bishop, of course. So once more, there's not a single thing you can do here except take the bishop. And after taking the bishop, you can take a rook in the corner. And this is still not completely winning. I mean, it is winning for white, of course. +3, it is obviously winning. And Kasparov is going to win this game with his eyes closed probably. But it is still not easy. I mean, you know, it's still blunderable, but okay. We continue the game with queen a8. And now after c3, there is queen a4, the best move, of course. King e1, and now there is f4. Obviously, if you push here, you can just take, and if you do anything else, for example this, there's going to be this move, and you're going to pick up probably pick up the rook somehow, or at least, I don't know, get some sort of advantage. You apparently don't pick up the rook, so there you go. But we see f4, and then we see f5, and now after king c1, obviously there's not a way to advance this pawn. Everything is covered, and yeah, there's no rook d1 even, because you can take with the queen. Rook d2 is still attempted because he wants to take this h2 pawn, and now there's queen a7, and in this position the game was resigned by Topalov, because even if you take this pawn, I think there's just going to be this move, and maybe this is not the move. Apparently queen g1 is the move. Of course, yeah. Now you pick up the rook. So yeah. This game, I mean, this game is like the epiphany of having the best calculation skills in the world. It's absolutely, I mean, yeah, it's just amazing. It's amazing that people can be this good at something. It is very, very interesting to see. King b6 here immediately would have kept the advantage for black, but after taking, there is a rook e7, and king b6 takes here, b4 check, king a4, queen c3. Apparently queen c3 isn't even the best move. Apparently rook a7 first is better. This is apparently a little bit better. If you go here right now you just take again. Apparently this line is a little bit better. I'm not sure. The computer prefers this line. Not exactly sure why this makes such a difference. Now we see this move, and now there's rook b6. Huh. Okay, so there's a slightly different move order here. a5, and now rook a6. Okay, very interesting to see that the computer finds an even better way to finish this game. But what Kasparov did, of course, was already absolutely insane, and one of the best games ever played, if you ask me. Finding c3, queen a1, queen b2, bishop f1, entire line calculated in their head, entire line, all the way from the point where they sacrifice the rook here. It's beautiful stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want to see more of these famous games recaps, because I like to do them, and I think I can also learn a lot from it. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one. Bye.